Hi, I'm Isaac. 3 years ago, I made what I thought was the smartest decision of my life, going into business with my best friend Marcus Chen. We'd known each other since college, and when he pitched me on starting a real estate investment firm together, it felt like destiny. Come on, man. We're going to be unstoppable, Marcus said that day at the coffee shop, his eyes gleaming with that infectious enthusiasm he had. You handle the operations and client relations. I'll manage the finances and acquisitions. 50-50 partners all the way. I don't know, Marcus. Real estate is risky, and I've got my savings tied up in this. That's exactly why we need each other. Your caution balances my aggression. We're the perfect team, Isaac. Trust me. And I did trust him. That was my first mistake. The firm, Chen & Morrison Investments, took off faster than either of us expected. Within 2 years, we were managing properties worth over $15 million and had 20 investors relying on our expertise. Isaac, you seeing these numbers, Marcus would say during our weekly meetings, sliding spreadsheets across his mahogany desk. We're up 30% this quarter. Your conservative approach is paying off big time. Our approach, I'd correct him. We're partners, remember? Right, of course, our approach. But lately, something had shifted. Marcus started having meetings without me, claimed they were just preliminary discussions that didn't require both of us. He'd dismiss my questions with a wave of his hand. Don't worry about it, Isaac, just handling some administrative stuff. You focus on keeping our current clients happy. Then came last Tuesday. I arrived at our office to find my key card deactivated. What the hell? I muttered, trying it 3 more times before calling Marcus. Hey, what's going on? My card won't work. There was a pause. Too long. Oh, right, Isaac, we need to talk. Can you meet me at Rizzo's at noon? Marcus, why doesn't my card work? Noon, Isaac, I'll explain everything. At Rizzo's, Marcus was already seated in the back booth, looking more put together than usual in an expensive suit I'd never seen before. That's new, I said, sliding into the booth. What's going on? He couldn't meet my eyes. Look, Isaac, you're a great guy. You really are. But the business has evolved beyond what you bring to the table. What are you talking about? I'm buying you out. Well, technically, the board voted to restructure, and your position has been eliminated. The board? Marcus, we are the board. It's 50-50. What's 50-50? I secured additional investors 6 months ago, diluted both our stakes, then bought up shares. I now control 70%. It's just business, Isaac. My hands gripped the edge of the table. You went behind my back? 6 months? I'm offering you $200,000 for your remaining shares. That's generous considering their current valuation. Current valuation, Marcus, we valued the company at $8 million last quarter. My 30% should be worth over $2 million. He shrugged. Markets change. Take the deal, Isaac. It's over. How could you do this? Don't be dramatic. You'll be fine. Take the money, start something new. We both know you were always better at taking orders than giving them anyway. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. I need to think about this. You've got 48 hours. After that, the offer drops to $150. That evening, I sat in my sister Sarah's living room, still in shock. He can't just do that, can he? Sarah asked, pacing angrily. You built that company together. He got other investors, Sarah, diluted my shares without telling me. I was too trusting, never checked the corporate filings. Isaac, this is fraud. You need to fight this. With what? He controls the company now. He has lawyers. Then get better lawyers. Call that attorney friend of yours. What's his name, David? David's one of Marcus's investors now. That's how Marcus got the money to buy me out. He convinced our friends to invest, then used their capital against me. Sarah stopped pacing and looked at me hard. So what are you going to do? Just roll over? I met her eyes. I'm going to find out what else he's been hiding. The next morning, I called Jennifer Park, an accountant who'd done some work for us early on, before Marcus insisted we use his cousin's firm instead. Isaac, long time. What can I do for you? I need someone to look at some financial documents, confidentially. Sounds serious. Come by this afternoon. In her office, I spread out what I'd managed to download before my access was cut. 3 years of financial statements, investor reports, and tax filings. What am I looking for? Jennifer asked, her practiced eyes already scanning the pages. Anything that doesn't add up. Marcus forced me out and my gut says something's wrong. She worked in silence for 20 minutes, her expression growing darker. Isaac, these numbers are wild. Look here, he's reporting returns to investors that are way higher than what the properties actually generated. How much higher? Try double, sometimes triple. He's been paying old investors with new investor money. That's a Ponzi scheme. Ding, ding, ding. And look at these property acquisitions. Half these addresses don't exist, or they're severely overvalued. He's been cooking the books for at least 18 months. My phone buzzed. David Lee, one of my oldest friends. Isaac, man, I heard about the buyout, David said when I answered. Marcus told me you wanted to pursue other opportunities. Is that what he told you? Yeah, he said it was mutual. Look, I invested 200 grand with you guys. Everything's solid, right? David, we need to talk in person. Where are you? An hour later, at a bar downtown, David's face went pale as I showed him Jennifer's findings. This can't be right. Marcus wouldn't what? Steal? He just stole my company, David. But I've been getting my returns every quarter, 12%, like clockwork, with other people's money. David, how many people did Marcus bring in after you? I don't know, maybe 6? He said the fund was expanding. Tom Rodriguez from our gym, the Patel family, Sarah Weinstein, all paying you with their investments. And when their returns come due, he'll bring in new people to pay them. Eventually it collapses and everyone loses everything. David ran his hands through his hair. We have to tell people. We have to stop this. I tried to tell you, and your first instinct was to defend him. Because he's our friend, was our friend. God, how did I not see this? He's good, David, really good. He made us all believe. So what do? We gather evidence, real evidence. Then we go to the authorities. He's not going to take this lying down, Isaac. I'm counting on it. Over the next 3 days, David and I contacted every investor we could find. Most were skeptical, but 2 agreed to help, Tom Rodriguez and Linda Patel. I knew something was off, Tom said during our meeting at Jennifer's office. My quarterly statements showed properties I'd never heard of. When I asked Marcus about visiting them, he always had an excuse. Linda nodded. Same here. Plus, he kept pushing me to invest more, always talking about these incredible opportunities. Now I know why. He needed fresh money to keep the scheme going. Jennifer laid out a dozen pages of documented fraud. This is enough to go to the SEC and local authorities. Marcus Chen has been operating a fraudulent investment scheme for nearly 2 years. The total amount stolen is probably close to $4 million. $4 million? David whispered. And counting. Every day he operates, he's finding new victims. I looked around the table. Everyone sure about this? Once we report it, there's no going back. Marcus will know it was us. Tom squared his shoulders. He stole from my family, I'm sure. Linda's jaw was tight. File the report. David met my eyes. Do it, Isaac. I nodded at Jennifer. Make the call. The SEC moved faster than I expected. Within a week, they raided Marcus's office and froze all company accounts. I got a text from him that same afternoon. We need to talk. Now. Same place. Sarah grabbed my arm when I showed her the message. Don't go alone. I'm not. David and Tom are meeting me there. At Rizzo's, Marcus was already there, but this time he looked like hell. Tie loose, hair disheveled, eyes wild. You son of a bitch, he hissed as I sat down. You went to the feds? You mean I reported your crimes? Yeah, I did. Crimes? Isaac, you have no idea what you've done. Those were just accounting discrepancies. David and Tom slid into the booth, flanking me. Marcus's eyes darted between us. What is this? An intervention? You're all idiots if you think... We know everything, Marcus, Tom interrupted. The fake properties, the inflated returns, the Ponzi scheme. Ponzi scheme? That's absurd. I was generating real returns. The market shifted. I had to adjust strategies. You were stealing. I slammed my hand on the table. You were paying old investors with new investor money. That's the definition of a Ponzi scheme. Isaac, buddy, come on, we can fix this. I'll bring you back in. 50-50, just like old times. We'll restructure, make everyone whole. Stop. Just stop, Marcus. I made a few mistakes, okay? But we're friends. We built this together. You can't just throw it all away. You threw it away when you cut me out. You threw it away when you started stealing from people who trusted you. His expression shifted, desperation creeping in. Isaac, please, I'm begging you, tell them it was a misunderstanding. I'll pay everyone back, I swear. With what money? It's all gone, isn't it? Silence. Isn't it, Marcus? I had expenses. The office, the car, that penthouse. You spent $4 million on yourself while lying to investors about returns, David said, his voice shaking with rage. My kid's college fund was in there. I was going to make it back. I had deals in the pipeline. More lies, Tom said, just like everything else. Marcus turned back to me, tears now streaming down his face. Isaac, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I got in over my head and I panicked. But we can fix this. I'll do anything. Please. I leaned forward, my voice low and steady. No. What? No. No forgiveness, no second chances, no fixing this. You betrayed everyone who ever trusted you, and now you're going to face the consequences. You self-righteous prick. Marcus's mask finally dropped, revealing the rage underneath. You think you're better than me? You were nothing before I brought you in. I made you. You ruined yourself, Marcus. I'm just making sure everyone knows it. He stood abruptly, pointing at me. You're going to regret this. You hear me? I will make your life hell. I'll sue you for defamation. You'll what? Tom stood too, his 6'3" frame towering over Marcus. Threaten him? In front of witnesses? Marcus's hand shot out, grabbing my shirt collar. This isn't over. Get your hands off him. David jumped up and suddenly Marcus shoved me hard against the booth. Tom immediately grabbed Marcus, pulling him back as I steadied myself. The restaurant had gone quiet, everyone watching. You're done, Marcus, I said, brushing off my shirt. And now you just added assault to your list of problems. Security arrived, escorting a still screaming Marcus out of the restaurant. The manager approached our table. I've got the whole thing on camera if you need it for the police report. We'll need that, Tom said. Thank you. 2 weeks later, I sat in Detective Sarah Morrison's office, no relation, giving my statement about the assault. Mr. Chen's already facing federal charges for securities fraud, wire fraud, and running a Ponzi scheme, Detective Morrison said. The assault charge is just icing on the cake. With the video evidence and witnesses, it's open and shut. What's the timeline looking like? Federal prosecutors are pushing for a trial within 6 months. Given the evidence you and the other victims provided, his attorney's already floating plea deals. He's looking at significant prison time, probably 10 to 15 years. Jennifer called later that day with an update. The SEC froze everything just in time. They recovered about $600,000 from Marcus's personal accounts and assets. It'll be distributed to victims proportionally, but nobody's getting back more than 15 cents on the dollar. Better than nothing, I said, though it hurt. So many people lost so much. Isaac, what you did took guts. A lot of people would have just taken the buyout money and walked away. Couldn't live with myself if I had. 3 months later, Marcus's trial date was set, and I was at Sarah's house, helping her plant tomatoes in her garden, when my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Isaac, it's Marcus. My hand froze. How did you? I'm out on bail. Please just hear me out. 5 minutes. Sarah saw my expression and mouthed, Who is it? I mouthed back, Marcus. And she immediately grabbed her phone, ready to call the police. You have 2 minutes, I said. Then I'm hanging up and reporting this call to your bail supervisor. I know I screwed up. I know I can't fix what I did. But Isaac, we were friends once. Real friends. Doesn't that count for something? You mean before you committed fraud? Before you stole millions? Before you assaulted me? I'm getting help, therapy, anger management. I'm a different person now. If you just tell the prosecutors you think I deserve a second chance, no. Isaac, no, Marcus. You don't get redemption. You don't get forgiveness. You don't get a heartwarming story about second chances. You get exactly what you earned, consequences. After everything we built together, you're just going to let them lock me away? You locked yourself away. Every lie, every stolen dollar, every person you betrayed, those were your choices. I'm just making sure you face them. You'll regret this. When I get out, I hung up and immediately called Detective Morrison to report the contact. That evening, back at my new apartment, smaller, simpler, but honestly mine, David and Jennifer came over for dinner. You okay? David asked, handing me a beer. Sarah told us about the call. Yeah, actually I am. For the first time in months, I really am. What's next for you? Jennifer asked. I'm starting a consulting firm, helping small businesses with operations and financial oversight, making sure no one else gets Marcused. Tom arrived late, carrying a bottle of wine. Sorry, got caught up at the gym. You tell them yet? Tell us what? David asked. The judge revoked Marcus's bail after the phone call. He's back in custody until trial. We all absorbed that in silence. Then Jennifer raised her glass. To Isaac, for having the courage to do the right thing when it was hard. To Isaac, the others echoed. To all of us, I corrected. Couldn't have done it without you. As we sat there, laughing and planning futures untainted by Marcus's shadow, I realized something. He'd tried to destroy me, to cut me out and erase my contributions. Instead, he'd freed me to build something real, something honest, something mine. That was his final gift, though he'd never understand it. What would you do if your partner betrayed you? Could you find the strength to fight back? Drop a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more true stories of justice and revenge.